If you've ever wondered what Disney park is best for your toddler, stay with me because I'm about to rank the Disney World parks from best to worst for your toddler. So let's get into it. We're going to start with the best park for your toddler, and that would be Magic Kingdom. Yes, Magic Kingdom is number one on my list. It is the best park if you have a toddler, an infant, whatever it may be. This is the best park for families, for anyone really, but if you have a little one, it has the most rides without a height restriction, which is perfect if you have a toddler or an infant. You can get on almost everything there. If you have to put your baby on your lap, Magic Kingdom is the park for you. One of my favorite rides to ride with Logan is the Jungle Cruise. It has no height restriction and it is just such a nice little ride. You go around in a river and there is the conductor who is always pumping out jokes, and I just love that ride so much. There's also It's Small World, which it's a little creepy, but it's also like just really nice. You sit in a boat again and it's an indoor ride, so you get to kind of just cool off. You also have the Dumbo ride under the sea. There's the Haunted Mansion, which can be a little bit scary, but if your kids don't get scared easily, I highly recommend Haunted Mansion. There's also Pirates of the Caribbean, which again could be a little bit scary for some kids, but if your kids don't get scared easily, it's a cool ride to get on with them. You also have the flying carpets, which again you can get on with an infant or a toddler. So these are all really fun rides that you can enjoy with your family. Not only is there a ton of rides there for you, there's a ton to do. There's shows, there's fireworks. They have 2 parades now. They have the Friendship Fair, which is an incredible afternoon show. They have theaters, character meet and greets. They have so much there. It is just the best park. I am telling you, I can spend the entire day at Magic Kingdom and still feel like I haven't seen all of it. There's also some really fun things to do, like the Enchanted Tales with Belle. I love that show. It is such a fun attraction. You go in, you get to meet Belle, and they pick some kids to be part of the show, which is really fun, and they walk away with like a really cute bookmark and a picture with Belle. I love Belle. She is one of my favorite princesses, and I just love going through and seeing Belle and her castle. There's also Mickey's Philharmonic, which is a movie that you can watch. It is a lot of fun. It is 3D and it's kind of like this immersive experience. I love this show. It is one of my favorites. It's a little bit on the longer side, so you get to experience some AC when it's super hot outside, and it's perfect for little kids because it is fun and entertaining, but you also get to cool down, which is another reason why I love Magic Kingdom so much. There's so many areas for you to kind of like cool down in. There's a lot of quick service restaurants and a lot of sit down restaurants. So you have a lot of places and spaces in which you can kind of sit down, take a break. Florida is really hot on most days, and coming here with a toddler, coming here with an infant can seem a little bit scary because you think they might overheat, but there's a lot of spaces, especially in Magic Kingdom, for you to like walk in and just kind of take a break and cool down for a bit. There's also a lot of great foods, especially for toddlers. There's chicken fingers and pizza and all kinds of things that toddlers would love. There's a lot of stores that you can walk into and look at toys and all these great things that I know infants and toddlers just love. There's also character meet and greets, so you can meet the princesses, you can meet Mickey, Minnie, Pooh and his friends. There's just so much to do here. I absolutely love it. And if you have kids that don't mind staying up, you can stay for the Starlight Parade, which is now at 8. And you can also stay for the fireworks, which happen at 9. I honestly love staying for both. I love the parade. It is such an incredible experience. There's so many lights and Logan just eats it up. He loves all of it and he really enjoys his time there. And then you can stay for the fireworks, which happen literally right after the parade, which is so nice because you can stay in your same spot that you saved for the parade. You can stay there and watch the fireworks. There's also enough space for you to walk around in, especially my parents with strollers. I know it can be very like anxiety inducing to have to walk around with a stroller, where there's tons of kids and there's tons of people and it's super crowded, but trust me, Magic Kingdom is that one park that you can freely walk around with a stroller. It doesn't cause that much anxiety. So all in all, I think Magic Kingdom is the one park you need to visit, especially if you have toddlers and infants. I think it is the best park for you to really enjoy yourself and time with your family and time with your kids. I think it is just the best park if you have little ones. Moving on to park number 2, that is EPCOT. I know it is like a strange park to put as number 2 because there's Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. However, EPCOT is probably my second favorite because of all of the space that you have. It is incredible how much space you get at EPCOT. It is one of the parks with the widest walking areas and pathways. I have never felt that it is too crowded for me with a stroller. Like, yes, it can get crowded and yes, it can be a lot sometimes, but there's so much space. And so it's easy to maneuver a stroller, a double stroller through EPCOT. So it is one of my favorites, probably for that reason alone. But also there is a lot of fun things to do at EPCOT as well. It's not just eat and drink around the world. A lot of people might think that it's just for adults, but EPCOT is a lot of fun. EPCOT has some great rides for little ones. They have the Frozen Ever After, the Remy ride, Living with the Land, the Moana plane area. There's 2 playgrounds, which is a lot of fun if you have little ones. There's one that is like a straight up jungle gym and then another one that's more interactive. There are drums, which Logan is obsessed with. He just loves going to the drums and beating out a couple of tunes, even though he doesn't sound great. It does not matter. He enjoys it. There's also a lot of places, a lot of rest stops. So again, if you have little ones and they're overheating, they're cranky, they're fussy, there's a lot of rest stops. There's a lot of dine-in restaurants that you can go into and have lunch or dinner at. There's a lot of stores at EPCOT, which I really enjoy because then I'm like weaving in and out of stores to kind of stay cool, to make sure Logan is staying cool. And there's a lot to see and do, obviously. They sometimes have concerts and shows, and there's a bunch of characters you can meet. There's Belle, you can meet Aurora, Alice in Wonderland. There's just like so much to do here. And it's a lot of fun because you can teach your little ones about the different cultures and the different parts of the world, which I love to do. And it's just like a great park for little ones. There's also a fireworks show at night. Again, if you have little ones that don't mind staying up, mine certainly doesn't. You can stay for the fireworks, which are really pretty. Not as great as the Magic Kingdom ones, but they're still worth watching. They also have a Beauty and the Beast sing-along, but if you're there after 6, you will see the France show, which isn't as fun as the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, but it's still a good opportunity to cool down. It is an indoor theater, so you can go in, you can sit down for a little bit and get some AC. There's also a lot to eat here, especially if you come during a festival. There's so much to eat and there's so many really good options for kids. That is why EPCOT is number 2 on my list of really good parks for toddlers. I think it is just really great. You can get all of your steps in, really tire them out, and then by the time you're home or back in your room, they are tired and ready for sleep. Third on my list is Animal Kingdom. I love Animal Kingdom, especially for the little ones. It is just such a fun park to go with a toddler. Maybe not an infant as much, but definitely a toddler who is learning about animals, who is learning to make the animal noises. And it is just one of those parks that is just so precious because of that reason alone. It is another pretty large park with a lot of space. The reason why I put it at number 3 is because there's really not that much to do at Animal Kingdom. There's not a lot of rides to get on with toddlers or infants. The safari is probably one of the only rides. There's really only 2 rides you can get on at Animal Kingdom. You have the Kilimanjaro Safari and the Navi River ride. Kilimanjaro Safari is definitely one of the best rides. in Disney World. I mean, it really tops all of the rides because it is a safari. Like, you're literally in a safari and you're seeing all of these beautiful animals that you would only see in Africa, and they are here in Disney World at Animal Kingdom. And it's just so beautiful to see, especially again, if you have little ones that are learning about animals. They get so excited to see them, and the conductor in the front talks you through everything that we are seeing and kind of gives you some background on some of the animals. They also talk you through what Disney is doing in terms of conservation in Africa as well as here in their park. So it is a lot of fun. It is very interesting and you learn a lot. And then Navi River, I love the ride, but I also love Avatar. It is like a very beautiful ride. It's definitely beautiful and it's nice to ride. I mean, it's an indoor ride. So again, if it is hot, you can go in and cool down. The only problem with Navi is that there is always a long wait for it. It is usually 60 to 80 minutes for some reason. I mean, I understand why. It is like one of the only rides at Animal Kingdom, so everybody just flocks to it, but it is just such a long wait, and I don't think the payoff is there, especially if you have little ones and you have to wait in line with them. It can be a lot. So again, if you're gonna get on one ride, let it be Safari. Even if it's a longer wait, it moves pretty quickly. They have like a couple of cars traveling and it fits a lot of people. So your wait will probably not be as long as the posted time is. So definitely get on Safari over anything else at Animal Kingdom. The food at Animal Kingdom is also not the most like kid friendly. I don't think. Yes, there are like things for kids there, but a lot of the really good food at Animal Kingdom, and I will die on this hill, Animal Kingdom has the best food of all of the parks, but it's really good food for adults. Like their salads are really fresh and delicious. They have this delicious lumpia that I am obsessed with. It is pineapple. A lot of things that kids might not really be into. There's delicious dumplings that they serve. Ugh, so good. They have the best dumplings there. They have these fries with like seasoning on them. So a lot of really delicious things. Unfortunately, not things that kids might want to eat. So if you don't really have an adventurous child, they're going to be stuck eating chicken fingers, probably maybe mac and cheese. They have a couple of shows, but everything really is outdoors at Animal Kingdom. So if it's really hot and you have a little one, you're kind of stuck in the heat with them. And I know how fussy little kids can get. I have my own who is always fussy in the heat. So I don't think Animal Kingdom is one of the better theme parks for kids. I do love it, especially as a local. Now that I live here, I can just go for an hour or two right before it closes and I'm able to do almost everything that I want to do there. But on vacation, it was probably one of my least favorite parks. And last but not least is Hollywood Studios. Unfortunately, I have to rank this park as the worst for toddlers and infants. Sorry, not sorry. I said what I said. I have been coming to Hollywood Studios with Logan since he was 6 months old. So trust me, I know. The problem with Hollywood Studios is that it is narrow. It is so hard to walk around Hollywood Studios with a stroller. And add in a double stroller, it has got to be the most anxiety-inducing experience of your life. Like, it gets so crowded. It is narrow, so there's not a lot of space for you to walk around in. The rides are a lot of fun, but there's not a ton for little ones. There's Minnie's and Mickey's Runaway Train, which I am obsessed with. And then there's the Toy Story Mania and the Alien Saucer one. But again, the lines for these are so long all of the time. Like, it's 60, 80 minutes sometimes for rides that don't really make that much sense at the end of the day. Like, the payoff is not there, in my opinion. I mean, I love them, but whenever the line is more than 30 minutes for any of them, I'm like, it's okay. I can come back. There's also not like a ton of indoor areas. There's not a ton of shade at Hollywood Studios. There's not a lot of rest spots, especially in the heat. There's a couple of stores, and yes, you can go in, but they also tend to get super crowded. So if you're going in with a stroller, bless your soul. I mean, it is just such an anxiety sport for me. I hate going into any of the stores with a stroller. They're also not as big. The biggest store there is still like pretty small compared to the Magic Kingdom store or the EPCOT store. So you're going in with a stroller. It's always packed. I mean, people flock to Hollywood Studios and it is always packed. So it is one of those things where it's just a lot of people with a stroller. Feels like a lot to me, especially if you have a cranky toddler or an infant and you need time to just sit and relax. Hollywood Studios is just not the park for that. I love it. I always loved it. It is probably one of my favorite parks, but if you have a toddler or an infant and you can only go to one park or maybe two parks, I don't think Hollywood Studios is the right park for that. Toy Story Land is amazing and I love it, but it also gets extremely packed and there's literally no shade. They've tried to build shade there, but there's just no shade at Toy Story Land. So again, if you have a toddler or an infant and they're overheating, there's not a lot of places for you to kind of like park and take a moment, take a breather. There's just not. There's a couple of restaurants and some quick service, but a lot of the quick service spots are kind of outdoors. And if they're indoors, they're very crowded. They're very packed. Like the spot to eat at Galaxy's Edge that's indoors gets packed super quickly and it's so hard to find a table. You literally have to like run to a table and it's just a very high stress situation over at Hollywood Studios. It's just not a park I would recommend if you are coming here on vacation and you're only able to go to one or two parks. I will say if you are park hopping and you go to Hollywood Studios at night, it gets a bit better for toddlers and infants because A, it's not as hot, the sun is down, and a lot of people kind of start leaving at night to go to Magic Kingdom and watch the fireworks. But other than that, I don't think I would recommend it for parents with little ones because it is a bit of a hassle. I do love Hollywood Studios, and if you are able to park hop and go at night and stay for Fantasmic, which is the best show on Disney property, then do that. But I wouldn't go out of my way to go to Hollywood Studios with a toddler or an infant. So there you have it. That is my official ranking for Disney World parks from best to worst for toddlers and infants. Now, if you don't agree or you feel like I missed something, leave it down in the comments. Maybe one day I'll change my mind about this ranking, but for now, this is it. I think Magic Kingdom is the best. So if you only have one park to visit and you have infants or toddlers with you, definitely go to Magic Kingdom. If you're going to all four parks, good for you. Enjoy, have fun, but just keep in mind that Hollywood Studios is cramped and crowded, and if you have a stroller, it might be a little bit hard to navigate, but it's still fun. Either way, like you're gonna have fun. I'm a firm believer that you should bring your kids to Disney World no matter how old they are. I've been bringing Logan since he was 6 months old. We've been bringing my nieces here since they were tiny, tiny little babies. So we love it. It's super fun. And as long as you don't get it in your head about all of the things that you might need or you might forget, or what if they don't have this, they're not gonna have fun, they're not gonna remember. Don't you worry about all of that, because guess what? You're gonna remember and you're gonna have a ton of fun, and then you're gonna be able to show these pictures and videos of them enjoying themselves when they're older, and they're gonna say, wow, that was so much fun. I can't believe you took me there when I was so little. And then you get to kind of relive all of it with them as they get older and they start learning new things. Like Logan now is really into Halloween. Every time he sees Halloween, he's like, Halloween, Halloween. We took him to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party last year and he had no idea what was happening. This year, he's able to kind of point at things and say Halloween, which is really exciting. So again, don't think that just because your kid is really little and won't remember that it won't be fun. It will be fun either way. This is just my ranking of best to worst parks for little ones, so that if you need help with that, it's a little bit easier on you. Anyway, if you like this video and you want to see more from me, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!